Hola, hola, my viewers. Wow, guess what? I'm a viewer brought to my attention a long time ago, and I kind of thought there was no way that this could happen, that I didn't make this mistake. But she wrote to me and said that I hadn't done an Aries, Sun, Virgo, Moon reading. And I was like, that's impossible. I have a system. I have a way of doing it. So and then I forgot about it, and then I ran into the message again today, and I was like, holy smokes, let me go check. So I did go check, and guess what? I did not do a reading for Aries, Sun, Virgo, Moon. So I'm actually going to do it now for the year. Yeah, I overlooked it. So really sorry about that. So instead of doing 144 readings for the year, I did 143. So here is your super duper late reading for you Aries, Sun, Virgo moons. I'm not doing these. I'm only doing these once a year because it's 144 readings and it's just a lot to kind of cram in. Look back in my videos for the other signs. I know it's a pain in the butt, but it was a pain in the butt for me to do 144 readings. So it is what it is. So let me read the general characteristics for all of you Aries, Virgos from my reference that I have. So it says that you guys are, let's see. All right, excuse me, my glasses are like, I can't even read right. Okay, so you guys are thoughtful and precise, and you resist mistakes. This makes you a little bit of a perfectionist. Obtaining a complete knowledge of something comes about because of your attention to details. You have a conservative perspective on life, not like most Aries. Rather, it's a result of both reason and experience. There's a special calmness about you. This might be because of the interacting opposites in you. Confidence comes from Aries and shyness comes from Virgo. You're not that impulsive, and let me scroll. I'm just having a problem scrolling. And wait, you're not that impulsive and daring, and in general, you tend to be more careful than other Aries people. The main reason for this is because your Virgo nature will restrain you a bit, even though you have plenty of energy and are excited about many things in life. Your fine intellect and great ability to analyze is usually the area of your occupation, and that is where your directness and power generally are directed. You are torn between your basic shy personality and the part of you that wants to be daring and flashy. This often results in an irreconcilable conflict in your personality. Again, you are faced with the possibility of disappointment. You can easily have a career as a doctor, lawyer, or engineer because of your intelligence, attention to detail, and concentration. Admired for your sincerity, Aries Virgos usually discover true success through their occupation. Your lofty standards are something you try to live up to. Overdoing things in that department should be guarded carefully against. Furthermore, a caution is also in order because you're inclined to be a fault finder in conjunction with work too. Problems come about when people disagree with your ideas because you think you're always right and the best informed. More tolerance pertaining to other views and lifestyles is needed. Your mind, oh, my eyes are burning. Your mind, simply put, needs to be more open. You should not be so judgmental. You might be nervous, agitated, and stressed out like a lot of people with a Moon and Virgo alignment. Problems at work will almost surely bring this out. You need to be careful to not take things out on those you love, who can be victims of these moods. The combination can make your Aries side feel let down and frustrated. The problem created here is that you need more self-acceptance in order to move on, okay? So those are your general characteristics. So let me just lay out some cards, a 3-card spread for you, Aries, Virgo. So, Holy Spirit, angels, divine guides, universe, can you please provide your truth, your clarity, your wisdom in regards to Aries, Virgos? What do you see for them? I'm trying to think. Let me do I can do a present. Okay, I might do it different from the other ones. This is what I'm feeling to do, okay? What do you see that there are present? No, I'm not. I'm going to do the past, present, and future. Sorry about that. What lessons or past challenges did they have to deal with? These Aries, Virgos. What in the present? When I talk about the present, again, this is for the year. When you come here and you look at this, it's 365 days, okay? Time is very fluid in tarot. So the present time, what is going on with them, and then what does the future hold for them moving on from the year. Okay? I just try to make it really expansive. It seems to resonate with people at different points in time. So leave comments, leave thumbs up. If this reading resonates with you, of course, always consider a personal reading. I love to do them. We can be a little more less general and a little more specific. Otherwise, like I said, comments, thumbs up is a great way to show your appreciation. Okay? Please grant me the objectivity to read these cards as they're intended to be read for Aries, Sun, Virgo, Moons, and to say your messages as you intend them to be said. So, Holy Spirit Angels, can you show me the past challenge for the Aries, Sun, Virgo, Moons, the challenges? Okay, you guys hanging around with the Hangman. And what are the present challenges for Aries, Sun, Virgo, Moon? We have the Five of Cups in reverse. And then finally, moving out of the year, what do you see for them? What does the future hold for them? Holy Spirit Angels, please provide truth, wisdom, and clarity. The Fool. Okay, so all over I'm seeing it starting with you guys, or the past, kind of you guys hanging around, kind of waiting on something, experiencing some kind of loss, kind of breaking out of it, and then you just go on to start a whole new journey, a whole new cycle as the Fool, okay? So we start off with a Hangman in the reverse. Now, this is in the position of past challenges that you've either had to learn from, lessons to be learned, things they want you to be aware of in regards to those lessons. So the Hangman, and he's in the upright, he's not in the reverse. If I said the reverse, I did not mean to say that, okay? It's in the past, some of you were like in some kind of a need to like suspend an action. You had indecision. Decisions or actions, like something needed to be implemented, but it was postponed. Even if there was an urgency to act, you were just kind of hanging around, okay? You were stalling on decision making. And you're reflecting on the situation, you're trying to figure out what the better thing's going to be, the greater good. And you're almost trying to buy yourself some more time because you wanted to hold off from kind of doing anything. You're like, can I buy some more time so I could think? I really don't. It's kind of like procrastination, but not quite, because there's enlightenment to me that comes along with this. And sometimes not acting is actually what it shed light on the situation from you, and it actually had other options, other opportunities emerge as a result of you waiting around. So I don't feel like it affected you guys negatively. For some of you, it could have felt that you were stuck or restricted in the past, and you really needed to get in touch with the reason why you were feeling this way and work to relieve yourself from these restrictions. It might have been also about letting go. You guys, I know you hear that a lot, but it's an emotional release. Whatever is leaving you stuck, you just accept it, you surrender to your present circumstances, and it makes you vulnerable, but it kind of helped you kind of move on and get on to something else, okay? And I feel like there's what happened here is that there was some kind of, for some of you, like a sacrifice to accomplish a higher goal, forsaking temptations and instant gratification because you wanted to get to a higher place as a result of this. And maybe you guys were using your time wisely, hanging out in the past to kind of figure this out, willing to lose something lesser to fulfill a greater goal, or something along those lines, okay? That's just generally what that guy's all about. For some of you in a work situation, it might have meant you have repeat clients, something in regard to that. You find out that your application maybe is put on hold or there's delays, but then you hear the outcome and everything that you sacrificed kind of worked out for you. And I was going to say something else in regards to... Yeah, I'm just going to kind of leave it at that, okay? Because I didn't want to get like too into the cards. So then we have the Five of Cups in reverse. So that's kind of the present situation. And the present situation is whatever present situation you're kind of in, coming out of that past, of that hanging around that period. And this is it's a little more positive. This is like, whatever happened here with this Hanged Man, after you came out of this phase, you just experienced the lowest point that you could have possibly experienced. And you just were like, and back here when we were talking about accepting stuff and letting go, you were like, listen, I'm at my lowest point here. It doesn't get any worse than this. I'm done with this. I'm done with like hanging around and just, whatever. Just, I need to accept this. It needs to happen. I'm getting off my ass and I'm picking up these pieces and I'm going to be stronger and I'm going to move forward. And I don't care what the reality of this situation is. I'm going to face it. Some of you were like, I understand the loss of it, but there's no point just sitting there hanging around, and I need to have some kind of realization with this. So you kind of popped out of this. You did that. You picked up your pieces. You became stronger than you were before. And in fact, you actually might have had some old friends that came back and helped you do this, or just meeting up with old friends helps you come out of this situation that you had here. Whatever this decision was, whatever you were hanging around waiting for, and they helped bring you out of this, or you just said, screw this, I'm gonna do this on my own, and I'm gonna figure out how to do this, because then I see you moving forward. In the future position is the Fool, and the Fool is just about risk and a new beginning. It's literally like starting fresh. It's starting at ground zero, and it totally makes sense that it's following this Five of Cups, because this Five of Cups is ground zero, and then here we have the zero of you starting again. Okay, you're up for a calculated risk. You tell yourself it's never too late to start over. You're following your heart's desires. You know that the journey that ahead is without danger, but you don't care. You're going to take a leap of faith because you learned a lot from this stuff, okay? Maybe some of you guys kept it safe, and it still didn't work out when you kept it safe, so you're like, whatever. I have nothing to lose at this point. I've had the lowest point of my life. I'm going to move forward, and I'm going to see what happens, okay? And I can see the Virgo side of you, the Virgo moon of you being very cautious and whatever, and now your Aries is just like carpe diem. Let's seize this bitch. Let's get this going. Let's start a new journey, okay? You feel young again. You're excited. Some of you're looking forward to a new way of living. I mean, you're just tearing down the old walls and you're like out of there. But cautionary tale. Make sure you look before you leap. So your Aries is going to want to look before you leap. Your Virgo is going to say, okay, wait a minute. Let's make a plan and let's think this out before we do it. So make sure you listen to your Virgo before you just kind of jump into something because you're feeling it at the moment. Okay, so it's good to want to start a new thing, but just you can't just totally blindly jump into something. Okay, if it's at home life. If it's in regards to home, it can like somebody you're going to have a young person leaving home for the first time, or you could have like a surprise visitor that comes to call on you, or you might just be entertaining younger guests in your home, like you have kids and then their friends come over or whatever. That could be something in the future. For relationship, this is entirely about a new relationship and going with the flow. So some of you are encountering a new relationship and you're like, you know what? This might not be the type of person I would date. This seems like a risky venture, but you know what? I don't care. Nothing can be worse than what I came out of. So you're willing to just go ahead and do that. And when it comes to career and money, for some of you, you might have like a new opportunity, your current job, a new career, a new enterprise, and you're but the thing is, like, organizing or prioritizing your workload is going to be the key to move ahead, is to success. So again, rely on your Virgo moon in order for that to happen. All right, I'm just going to take a little peeky into what happened here, because I'm just kind of curious about what happened in the past. I also feel about you guys having waited for so long. So for your reading. So yeah, this is out of guilt. I'm pulling clarifiers out of guilt. So Holy Spirit, angels, divine guides, universe, can you please provide your truth, your clarification, your wisdom, and your insight in regards to this hangman in the upright? What's the significance of the hangman in the upright? Who is this person? What is this energy? What additional messages do you have in regards to Aries, Virgo, and this hangman being in the past position? So personality, perspective. This is the Gypsy Witch I'm using for clarifiers, by the way, and my main deck is the Rider-Waite. I always like to give credit. All right. You hung around in something, a job, a relationship. Again, this is general, and you moved on from it because you got in your little boat, you packed up all your crap, and you're like, I'm out of here. Eventually you did. I think you hung out for a long period of time, or you were deciding whether you were going to move on from this for a long period of time. probably because of what a painful move it was, or moving away from it, or what you had to do. But then with the Three of Spades, which is the Three of Swords in reverse, you knew that it was going to bring healing. You knew that you had to pull those swords out of that heart in order to begin healing. So I think that's what caused you to segue to this situation here. And then with the Eight of Spades, which is the Eight of Swords in reverse, and these are all swords, so, and they're all in reverse. So to me, that's all about a healing journey. I mean, you were restricted, but you got out of it. And I think it took you a really long time to decide whether you were going to get out of it, but you kind of knew the only way that you were going to heal is if you moved on from it. And here you're having, let me clarify this, the Five of Cups in reverse. So that's where you're at your low point. So Holy Spirit, angels, divine guides, universe, can you please clarify the Five of Cups in the reverse for Aries, Sun, Virgo, Moons? Who is this person? What is this energy? What additional messages do you have for this Five of Cups in reverse in the present position for Aries, Virgos for the year? 365 days, okay? Person, personality, perspective. What is this rock bottom that you're showing me? Okay, they flipped that. There's the new beginning. Okay, so you've hit your rock bottom. You know you need to have the new beginning. That's the same card as this card. So you guys just had it at some point and were like, it doesn't get any lower than this, and this card's kind of hanging out. Yeah, it doesn't get any lower than this, and I desperately, desperately want to start fresh. I can't keep on waiting. I can't keep on cycling through this. And I'll get back to that Nine of Clubs. I want to see what the additional card they're going to pull. Okay, with the Five of Cups. Okay, so this is a repeat. So it's doubly so. You definitely hit absolute rock bottom, ground zero, and it I mean, it just, you had nothing left. You were spent. You were done. And you knew that you wanted that new beginning. And as long as it took you to actually decide to make that new beginning, you went ahead and you moved forward with it. So yay for you. And you might have endured some strong opposition about moving on. It might have been that it took so long for you to move on from this because you put so much work into this. And you were waiting to get thanks for it. You were waiting for it to pay off. For some of you, you had a boss and you were working just really hard for them, and you just got to the end of your rope and you're like, to hell with this. I'm out of here. I'm getting a new job. I don't need this crap. Because it was just making you feel like you were just not enjoying life. You weren't enjoying work. It was really taking your sunshine away, okay? So, but you had to get to this point in order to get the hell out of it and start over. You might have even been dealing with some kind of somebody who was just, you know, getting into your territory all the time and just beating you down. And you were just like, this is misery. I can't do this anymore. And I know that there's something bright that awaits me, but I'm not going to be able to attain it if I keep on dealing with this individual or I stay in this job. And it's great that you guys had that insight to get out of Dodge. I like that. Let me see what's going on with this Fool, because I like happy endings. So let's see what's going on. So Holy Spirit, angels, divine guides, universe. And for some of you, you might be going through this crap right now, and you're trying to so your answer is, hello, get out of it. You have this waiting for you. You know what I mean? Don't hang out in that hangman period for too long, or this for too long, because you guys want out of it. That's very clear. You know, some of you don't even have to wait for that rock bottom to force you out the door. You can take action and you can leave now if you're in this present situation. Holy Spirit, angels, please provide a clarification on this Fool in the upright for Aries, Sun, Virgo, Moon. Who is this person? What is this energy? What additional messages do you have for the Fool in the upright for our Aries, Sun, Virgo, Moons for the year 365 days? Okay. Person, personality, and I had a thought. I'm going to say it real quick because maybe I was so delayed on this reading because you guys needed to see it now. You know, maybe it was intentional. I always think the universe, I think it's interesting that the one reading I didn't do, and it took so long for it to be brought to my attention. It took so long for me to do it. So there might have been a reason for that. I can only think. Okay, so we pull the Ace of Swords in reverse. You have this new beginning, but you don't have the clarity. I think you're still... Be careful. Make sure you think, don't just jump off the cliff, because I don't think that you have the 100% clarity that you need in regards to this new beginning. Person, personality, perspective, additional messages for this Fool in the upright for Aries, Virgo. But that's what I got right off the bat. So some of you are having this new beginning, but I don't think you're thinking with your head straight, or you don't have the clarity. Okay, now we have the Knight of Cups in reverse. Okay, and there's the offer. All right, so it could be, your new beginning could be a relationship. We have two aces, so, but one is not being very clear regarding the new beginning, or having a block on the new beginning. And this is the Ace of Cups, so it's all about emotions. It's a new beginning in regard emotions or love. And then we have this gentleman who's trotting in, who is the Knight of Wands. The Knight of, the Jack of Hearts, which is the Knight of Cups in reverse. And when that guy comes trotting in, he's usually a knight in shining armor. When cups are reversed, it's usually emotions are off in that regard. Disappointment. Somebody comes in with a love offer, and then it turns out that they're not all the hotty-toddy that they... What the hell just happened? I feel like... Oh, okay, nothing happened. Never mind. They're not everything that they said they were, and you end up being disappointed, okay? And you're really confused about it, too, and I kind of feel like it's because you didn't have the clarity. I feel like you rushed in, so now this is not turning out to be quite as positive as I thought, and that's the reason why we pull clarifiers on this. So be careful, because what I'm feeling right off the bat is that, you know, okay, so this is the deal. You came out of this and you're really like bummed, all right? And you're hungry. You're hungry for a new beginning, as seen by the Joker here again, which is the Fool. And you set out on it, but you're so hungry to get out of this that you probably take whatever you see at first glance, which to you is a love offer, to you is a new beginning, and you're all kind of hyped about it, but you're not looking at it with clear eyes. So you believe this Knight of Cups when he comes in. And whatever he tells you, whatever show he's putting on, you 100% believe it, because you want to believe it, because you're desperate for the new beginning. You're hungry for a new beginning. And what happens is he ends up disappointing you. And the thing is that with this Ace of Swords in reverse, it's a situation, too, where you... because of this situation here, you withdrew, and you're licking your wounds, and you were in a very vulnerable state. And then this guy comes trotting in and sweeps you off your feet and is like, hey, I got a cup full of love. Do you want it? And you're in such a desperate state, because I don't think that you fully healed, and you think you're ready for it. You do, and you just jump in with both your feet. And it's not gonna turn out well, I believe. So just be cautious as somebody in your future who's trying to do that, and be cautious about feeling so needy to get out of this situation that you know, anybody, like somebody who is looking for the thrill of a new romance, or someone who is looking for the chase, or someone who just wants to have sex with you, comes trotting in and they hide themselves. And it's somebody who could have intimacy and commitment issues. Someone just flies in and they feel really good, and then they leave, okay? Or they blame you because the relationship falls apart. So I was really excited, because I thought this was a new beginning, but I think this is a new beginning that's forced upon you, because you're coming out of this, because you're broken and you're desperate, and you haven't fully healed. And this person is making you promises, and you desperately want to believe them, and you desperately want this new beginning, but your judgment is clouded, and you end up taking off with them. But, you know, if that happens, if that's happening for some of you Aries Virgos at this time, This is a journey that you need to have for some reason, so don't get all bummed out. If you haven't encountered this yet, then keep your eyes wide open and learn from this. And when this person comes trotting in, be really careful. And again, rely on your Virgo moon. Get the details, analyze, check up on this person. If you're feeling red flags, if your intuition is telling you something, then follow that, okay? Because I'm feeling like you have somebody a little bit shady McDady out here, okay? All right, that is all I have for you, Aries, Sun, Virgo moons. Again, I am sorry that I skipped over your reading. I deeply apologize for that. If you like my style of reading, if this resonated with you, then please consider a personal reading. It's just a matter of sending me an email. My rates are listed below. And just shoot me an email. We can get that set up. Otherwise, like I said, comments and thumbs up. Adios from Veronica Garnett to my Aries Sun, Virgo moons. Adios.